we are going to use Elasticsearch. Elasticsearch is a search engine which provides a distributed full text search engine with an HTTP web interface. We can store data in Elasticsearch in schema-free JSON documents. There are some great use cases of Elasticsearch. For example, if you have a relational database like MySQL with a larger dataset, it's a common use case when we have to apply a complex join query to get data from multiple tables. Suppose you have applied all kinds of optimization in the query as well as in the schema and still your query is slow. In that case, you can execute your query behind the scene and save the data in Elasticsearch. And when you want the data, just query on the Elasticsearch. Getting data from Elasticsearch will be very fast, although it depends on the requirement and can be a solution for you. Many web applications use Elasticsearch as a NoSQL DB as it is very fast in select queries. One thing to ask you is, can we use Elasticsearch to monitor our logs? Logs are stored in an unstructured arbitrary text format. Let me show you logs of Nginx. So here you can see the logs are in unstructured format. So here is the IP and then a space, timestamp, and then a space, request method, get, and then a space. So space is used as a delimiter or separator between different data sets, and we cannot monitor this text format. So we know that in Elasticsearch we can only store the JSON data. So if there is any way we can convert this unstructured logs in JSON documents, then we can store this data in Elasticsearch as well. So in this video we will see how can we save JSON documents in Elasticsearch and how to monitor Nginx logs. I am going to use Docker image of Elasticsearch. Okay, so here you can search for keyword Elastic search Docker image. Follow this link. And here is the command. So I already put this image. Let me show you. So here is the image, and you can use this pull command to pull the Docker image. Let me launch a container using this image. And you can see this is the same command shown in that official documentation as well. This is the command. So I started a single node cluster and -a discovery type equals to single node. This is the option to start a single node cluster. And in this command I added one more thing. The container name is not defined in this command, so I already added this. You can see here the container name is Elasticsearch container1 I used. So our container is launched. So, and by default Elasticsearch runs on port number 9200. So let's check the cluster. You see a message connection reset by peer, and the message code or error code number is 56. It means internally they are creating a cluster for you. It will be available soon. So let's wait. Now you can see the cluster is available, and here are some more commands like _cat. It will show you all the available options. So here are some options available. You can check masters list, node list. Let me show you. For masters, here you can see there is single master running, as we are creating a single node cluster, so there is single master, and for nodes there is single node. And if you notice that the IP of node and the IP of master is same, it means in single node cluster master is also serve as a node. So our cluster is created. So let's put some data in cluster. So I already created its test file. Let me show you. Cat test data.json. So this is the sample data you want to store in Elasticsearch. It's in JSON format, and the command I am going to use is, let me just a minute. This is the command I am going to use. So let me explain you the command. We are going to use curl, and the request method is put, -h is header application JSON, as we are going to transfer JSON data, and the URL of cluster this, and MyDB is the database in Elasticsearch, and we are going to tell to Elasticsearch that we are going to store data in bulk in MyDB database. So let me execute this. So it's showing a success message. You can see the data here. So the data is there, same data. You can also access the data on browser as well. And to check the database list, you can see option. It's showing it there is a single database MyDB that we are created just now. And if you want to relate it to a relational database, if you ever worked on a relational database like MySQL, so the terminology here we use is the database term in RDBMS. Here we use the term index, and in RDBMS we use a table, and here we use a type. So if you see the JSON data, here we tell to store the data in customers table. So underscore type is the table name, and here is the table name customers, and underscore ID is the primary key, or we can say a unique identifier. And for another record, we again tell it to save the data in underscore type, it means table name customers, and record with the ID number 2. So here it is. So again you can see the data in this format, and I think there is one more option. Yes, you can see the data in this format as well, but it's not in readable format. So to make it more readable, you can add a Chrome extension in your Chrome browser. So for this you can search Elasticsearch Chrome plugin and go for the GitHub link. You can download it in zip format, extract it, and after extraction you go to Chrome, more tools, extensions, enable your developer mode. By default it is disabled like this, so you have to enable it, and click on load unpack this menu, and after click on this, select the directory where you have extracted this, and after that it will be shown to you. And here also a tree icon, you can see that. So our cluster IP is 9200, sorry, the port number 9200, and if you check, you can see the data we stored is here. Now the issue with this approach is that if you store your data in this way, and uh, is if your container goes off, then in that case you can't recover your data. Let me show you. So this is our container name. Let me stop it. And let me remove it. Now if I again launch the container, then this data will not be available for us. It's creating a cluster. This cluster is created. Let me quickly insert the data again. So data is stored. Let me check here. Yes, data is available. Now if again I remove the container, and if I again create a new container, just a minute. It's creating. Here we can also check the request failed because the cluster is not created yet. Cluster created, and now if I check here, just a minute. Oh, sorry. Let me remove it again. Okay, so container stopped, and here we are going to mount it to a directory, to -v. Let me copy it from elsewhere. So this is the directory data 01, the directory where we are going to mount Elasticsearch data. Okay, so cluster is created. I insert the sample data. Data is here also. So now if our container goes off, it's off. And now if I launch a new container, then data should be there. Yes, you can see cluster is created, also data is here. So if our data is critical, you can mount to a persistent volume and can restore your data if your cluster is down or container goes off. Okay, so now let's move to another use case of Elasticsearch. And so now let's move to a great use case of Elasticsearch, and that is to monitor your logs. As our logs are in unstructured arbitrary format, so we are going to use logstash to read the logs. If you want to read more about logstash, you can search what is logstash, and here you can see logstash is the part of Elasticstack, integrate data from any source, and you can also use for open source collection, parsing and pipelining also. So it's a great tool, so we are going to use this. So to install logstash, you can search keyword logstash install, go for elastic link. Here you can see the option for installing from a downloaded binary, and here you can go. I am using Ubuntu system, so I downloaded a Debian package. You can also download a tar file, zip file, RPM file as per your requirement. So I already downloaded and installed using Debian package. After installing, you can use the command systemctl enable logstash and start logstash, and you can check the status also. So let me show you the status of logstash. sorry, it's a typing mistake. You can see the service is running. Please correct this. So these are the commands, and to configure logs test you can go to directory cd/etc logs test. When you install it, you can see a default file logstestsample.conf will be there. So let me show you it. So in this file you can see there are two stages in the pipeline, input and output. Ideally there are three stages in logstest pipeline: input, filter and output. So input read the events and generate events, filter modify events, and output shifts them elsewhere. In our case, it outputs the output will ship the data to our Elasticsearch. So I modified this sample file and created new file logstest.conf. This is the file. Let me show you that. This is the file. So here in input stage I pass nginx access log file path and error log file path, and after this it will filter this data, something like that, and output will be ships to data to Elasticsearch. So this is the file, and to start this you can use this command, and here you can tell the path settings, path.settings variable to /etc logstest. Sometimes it will give an error, so it's better to use this. I think there is some error, and it's because of, let me show you. The cluster is running at IP 9200, and in logstest.conf file the cluster port number is 9202. So let me change it to 9200, and let me restart it. So you can see successfully started Logstash, and now if you check indices, let me show you here. You can see the MyDB and Nginx. So there is a new database created for Nginx, and the name we pass from here. So you can see the name /tc logstash get so here is the index name we pass Nginx and some date time format. So this is the same name. Here you can see the database name as Nginx and some date time format. And now if you check the logs for the same name Nginx, let me copy it from here. You can see the logs are here, Nginx logs, and if you want to apply some data, something like some operations on that, you can perform. Let me show you some examples. You can see the response status is 4304. So if you want to check all the requests with the response 304, you can search here. Yes, there are total 2, okay, 1 and 2, and if you want to check how many requests are with status 404, you can see there is no page with 404, and you can see there is a page come up. So it's a real-time monitoring of your Nginx logs. So that's it. You can perform any operation. You can also apply the same logics and concepts for Apache logs, MySQL logs, and any kind of logs. The thing you have to do is just to convert your logs in JSON format and import it using Logstash pipeline, and that's it. And if you want to enhance the user interface or want to show some graphical data like that, so you can use Kibana. It's also used as a with Elasticsearch. So Kibana is a free open source user interface for graphical data representation like that, so you can integrate that also.